Hi, Ross and Kathy Callaghan here again, and we're off on another cruise, this time on Royal Caribbean, Radiance of the Seas.
Yes, well, we've been on the Radiance of the Seas before, but this time we're going around New Zealand, our homeland, the most beautiful country in the world, so it should be wonderful.
Our cruise starts in Auckland, New Zealand's largest city. Over there is the ferry buildings. In front of us here we've got the Cloud, which is a function area. In today is the Sun Princess. We've been on that ship. And over there is the Auckland Harbour Bridge. Auckland has a really beautiful harbour. Over there's the North Shore, which is where I grew up. And that little mountain in the distance there is called Mount Victoria.
And that was where 45 years ago Ross asked me to marry him.
And what did you say?
I must have said yes because we're still married.
They call Auckland the City of Sails. You can see why today with all those lovely yachts out there. And so we say farewell to Auckland. Our first stop is going to be in the Bay of Islands. Then we visit Tauranga and Napier, Wellington, Akaroa, Dunedin, and then a visit to the three lovely sounds in Fiordland before a couple of days at sea and over to Melbourne. There's North Head and on the left, and then Rangitoto, Volcanic Island at the back there.
So we're in Ocean View number 4516, and it's a lovely spacious room. It has very comfortable beds. There's a television. We even have a fridge. Now you're allowed to bring on some soft drinks on Royal Caribbean, so that's where we put them. There's a little friend we were given last night by our steward. Plenty of mirrors. You see yourself everywhere. And of course storage, no problems at all for storage, plenty of places to put your luggage, and a very comfortable and easy to use bathroom.
More mirrors. And every day they give you a cruise compass with all the activities for the day. There's always something going on. There's music around the ship, there's dancing, there's activities you can be involved in, and there's things to enrich you, things for fun. It just goes on, and every day they list all the possible activities here in the cruise compass. So what we thought we'd do is we'll show you some of the things that are going on around the ship at the moment, so you can get an idea of what life is like on the Radiance of the Seas. So everyone's made a helicopter.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Royal Caribbean Airlines. Captains, start your engines. We're going to fly, taking off in 3, 2, 1, go! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for flying with Royal Caribbean Airlines. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you all around. You are the best. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That was fun.
This ship's so big, going in the lifts is like being in a department store.
Deck 11.
And look, it's Sunday, just in case you forget what day it is, which is quite easy on a cruise ship. So now the tournament of the year on the Radiance of the Seas is about to start. Oh. Wow. All right. Two. Ooh, nearly. 3, 4.
4.
Alright, 4 for you.
one. Oh, this is good.
Oh, pressure. Get it into one.
Three.
It's a tie.
I was letting her do that. You can do rock climbing if you're game enough.
I don't think the team after about was covered in for her.
Good work. Lots of bargains at sale time. Lots of people.
Just $10. They have a great gym on this ship. It's always good to keep your steps up. I always try and do at least 10,000 steps and no problem on a big boat like this. And your photo gets taken lots and lots of times.
Okay, and the question is, if A is for Alpha and B is for Bravo, what is C for? Is it A, Chris? Is it B, Charlie? Is it C, Columbus? Or is it D, Cat? What do you think, Pauline? One person thinks that it's Chris, 99.98% of the people think it's Charlie, 3 people think it's Columbus, and you think it's Cat. So, what do you think the correct answer is?
Let's go with B.
Yes, I lost my little darling. That night they were dancing this beautiful Tennessee waltz.
Put your hands together for the dancer!
Reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never would. Oh no, no.
And if you don't want to do that kind of activity, you can always just laze by the pool, have a nice swim and enjoy the warm sunshine. This is Francis, and he looks after us by the pool.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Francis. I'm the lifeguard on duty here in the main pool. We're in the Radiance of the Seas together with our lovely guests.
Thank you for looking after us.
No worries.
Enjoying the cruise?
Loving the cruise. Love the sunshine. Of course, you can always do my favourite activity, which is to sit quietly, watch the sea go by.
On the Radiance of the Seas, there's lots of food options, including some specialty restaurants. But we thought we'd show you today the options that are available for free for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And the food is going to be fantastic. We know that before we even start. The buffet's called the Windjammer.
Oh, there's so much to choose from.
Cereals galore. Lovely breads and pastries. But breakfast's really all about bacon and eggs. Everything you could wish or want. Even porridge. Kathy, she goes healthy. And I go, yummy, no, traditional. There's just so much to choose from for your lunch at the Windjammer. You can go vegetarian, you can make a burger, chips, lots of lovely salads. You can go healthy if you want to. Pizzas and gorgeous sweets to finish with. Hope I don't put on weight after the cruise. All good stuff though. We've discovered the main principle of cruising is do as much exercise as you can, take the stairs so you can eat more. The main formal dining room is the Cascades, and in there it's a la carte dining with a very, very nice menu every night. Shrimps as our starter, looks good. And for mains, a vegetable korma and roast turkey. Melts in your mouth, beautiful. This is to celebrate 45 years of marriage.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
We have been looked after by Anna and Mega. Mega is from
Indonesia and from Bali.
and
Rio, Brazil.
Terima kasih.
Yeah, sama-sama.
They have looked after us so well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
Our first stop is in the amazing Bay of Islands. Such a beautiful place. Over there is a little town of Russell, Kororareka, which at one time was capital of New Zealand. And just look at the Bay of Islands. Such a beautiful place. Over there's Paihia, and then here is the historic place for New Zealand of Waitangi. We're now in the grounds of the Waitangi Treaty House in Waitangi, and over there in that building, which was Busby's residence, was where the treaty was signed. It was a treaty between the Maori and the Pākehā, which brought the two peoples together as co-partners, really, in this land of Aotearoa, New Zealand.
The treaty is very important in New Zealand history, the foundation document of our land.
Around here is about 3,000 odd people with transport. I'm not as good at looking at that one there. And they were waiting to see what was going to come out of that room. 11 o'clock that morning, Wednesday the 5th of February, they walked down towards the marquee. And there, they read out the articles.
One of the Maori chiefs who signed the treaty was called Honi Heki, and afterwards he wasn't too happy about the results of the treaty for Maori, and to show his disgust one day he came in the middle of the night and he chopped down the flagpole there, a very historic rebellion in New Zealand history. This is a traditional Maori welcome. A pōwhiri welcomes us onto the marae and into the meeting house, the whare. This is the biggest ceremonial canoe anywhere in the world. It's 32 metres long, made of 3 big trees stitched together. There are 144 islands in the Bay of Islands. One of the famous ones has got the hole in the rock, and the main town is Paihia, very much a tourist centre. Paihia becomes a busy little place when the tourist ships come in. Population rises dramatically. There's the main street of town. Goes all of 20 or 30 metres down there. Well, it's not often you see such a lovely sight as that, is it? The beautiful Bay of Islands. We've had a fabulous time here. And now welcome to the fabulous Bay of Plenty, named by Captain Cook. Over there is the city of Tauranga, the main city in the Bay of Plenty, and it's one of New Zealand's most popular and fast-growing cities. About an hour away from Tauranga here is Rotorua, well known for its thermal activity and its Maori culture. And close by is Hobbiton, well known to Hobbit fans. The whole area of the Bay of Plenty is well known for its farms and produce, and especially for growing of kiwi fruit. A fabulous place to live. And over here is Mount Maunganui, and that's one of New Zealand's most popular beach resorts. Today we're going to walk right round the Mount Maunganui. That's something that we haven't ever done before. Nice stroll.
Steep one.
It's a long way up there, but still do 11 flights of stairs.
And this is what you get to see for climbing up the hill. Over there's Matakana Island.
This track we're on here has been known while we've been walking it to be the subject of a really vicious onslaught by the sea out there. It's beautiful today. We've seen it, we've felt it, we've got wet by it. It's just been crashing in here. You see those tree trunks down there, all been stripped of their bark. It's just an amazing situation. I've never felt so safe in a storm. It was glorious.
Mount Maunganui has two sides, the ocean side here and the harbour side where the sea is calm. And here's Mount Maunganui's ocean beach. Just great for surfing, beautiful white sands. They call this place the Mount, and at certain times of the year like New Year's Eve, there's thousands and thousands of people here. One of New Zealand's hottest spots.
Just gorgeous here.
Not bad, eh? This Bay of Plenty sure is a lovely place to visit. And it's great that we can do it from a cruise ship. We've been here lots of times before, but it's nice to be coming here as a tourist.
Well, we're now in Napier in the Hawke's Bay. 1931, February the 3rd, there was a terrific earthquake here that flattened the city, and nearly 260 people died. So they rebuilt the city in Art Deco, and today is Art Deco weekend, and we're here for the special celebration of Art Deco. All sorts of things are going to happen. We'll show you a few snapshots.
On Art Deco weekend, the city centre of Napier really hums. People out enjoying themselves and getting into the Art Deco scene. In some parts of Napier, all of the buildings are done in Art Deco. And they've got the cars of the era as well. We're going to have a parade.
So if you haven't come suitably attired, you can hire a little number like this or buy a number like this. It's just gorgeous, and everyone everywhere is dressed up and enjoying the day.
Napier's not just about Art Deco. It's beautiful beaches. They're stony beaches, fantastic cycleways. There's an aquarium here. It's a lovely Hawke's Bay city. And they've created really beautiful garden areas all through the city.
Happy Art Deco.
Hop in.
It's a little bit of a distraction.
Nice to see the vintage airplanes out and showing off. And here we have Panya of the Reef and Kathy of the Reef. off down Marine Parade.
Deco is absolutely awesome weekend in Napier, and everyone should come every February. It's just absolutely fantastic. We've got about 40,000 people here visiting this weekend.
So the whole event's very family friendly. So whole families come together and they bring a picnic and they enjoy the whole day and sometimes the whole weekend or even the whole week here. It's a wonderful thing.
Napier really is a fantastic place to visit, and how special to be here on Art Deco weekend. We're very, very privileged. It's been a wonderful day.
And now welcome to Wellington, and Wellington's where we come from. It's a little bit strange to be on a cruise ship and coming home, but it's a wonderful city.
We've lived in and around Wellington for over 30 years and we love this place, and it's great to be able to show people just how beautiful it is.
And here we have Wellington from the top of Mount Victoria. Over there's the Cake Tin, the stadium where they have all the sports events. And they don't call Wellington the Windy City for nothing. The waterfront in Wellington is just fantastic. There's people everywhere and so much to see and do, and it just hums with activity. Fantastic place to be. Lots of lovely cafes in the waterfront and throughout Wellington. It's very much a cafe city. And here we have Te Papa, the National Museum. Wonderful museum of New Zealand, and you can certainly spend a day easily in there. They have all sorts of major exhibitions at Te Papa. At the moment it's the Terracotta Warriors.
It really is a fantastic museum. And what's more, it's free.
And the famous cable car takes you from the Botanic Gardens down to the Wellington city centre. People come here from all around to see the beautiful gardens. And this is Oriental Parade. Beautiful beaches. You can't beat Wellington on a good day. Wellington's the capital of New Zealand, and so here are our Parliament buildings. On the left is the Beehive, which are parliamentary offices, and Parliament itself sits in the old Parliament buildings here. It's so nice to visit Wellington as a tourist. Even though we've lived here for a long, long time, it's nice to come back and to see all the different tourist sites that are part of this lovely city. So, kia ora Wellington, thank you for having us, even if we've been here for years and years. And now welcome to the quaint village of Akaroa, the only French village in New Zealand. It's about 1.5 hours drive from Christchurch, out on Banks Peninsula. In Akaroa you can take a cruise out into the lovely harbour, and hopefully you'll see the endangered Hector's dolphin. There's all sorts of wildlife out there in the harbour, it's so gorgeous. This is French Bay, and it gives you a sort of feel of the quaint village nature of Akaroa. The town was initially settled by whalers from France, and that's why there's still relics of the whaling days around the town even today. All of the street names are in French, and a lot of people still speak French. Parlez-vous français?
Petit peu.
Petit peu.
Petit peu.
One of Akaroa's most loved attractions is the Giant's House. The house was built in 1880, and it was bought by Josie Martin. And one day she was digging in the garden and she found some ceramics, and so she used the ceramics to create all sorts of lovely features for her garden, and that's become something very special. Now the whole garden is covered in these beautiful, beautiful ceramics. A wonderful place to visit.
Anyone for strawberries? I'll have hers.
This place really is a labour of love. Everywhere you look, there is loving care taken place as creating these things. The detail as she's applied the ceramics everywhere is just incredible.
Everything is beautiful. Look at the topiary.
The Giant's house and its garden sure is a labour of love. Josie's made something very special here, hasn't she? Akaroa sure is an idyllic place. So beautiful.
One of the things about New Zealand is that in every town, no matter how small, they have a war memorial. In Akaroa, they have quite a spectacular one, commemorating the war dead.
Makes a big difference to the little village when all the tourists come in off the boats. Don't know if they like it. I'm sure it's good for trade, but it has changed the flavour of Akaroa a bit.
In the escargot rouge, which is the red snail, you can buy a mince pie.
Akaroa sits on Banks Peninsula, which is made up of a couple of extinct volcanoes. And the harbour here that we see was first discovered by Captain Cook in 1770, but it was settled in 1840 by the French. And the word Akaroa in Maori means long harbour, and there's the long harbour before you. This is the lighthouse for the harbour, built in 1880. We've really enjoyed our little visit to Akaroa. What a gorgeous, gorgeous village. Our final port stop in New Zealand is in Dunedin, and the ship stops at Port Chalmers, which is just outside of the city of Dunedin. Dunedin's further round the harbour on the left there in the distance. We're now in the Lady Thorne Rhododendron Dell in Port Chalmers, Lions Club project, and it's been created inside a quarry, and the quarry has produced stones for many of the buildings in Dunedin and in Port Chalmers and even as far afield as Christchurch. And this is Les, who has done a lot of the work here in the quarry. It's been a labour of love for you, hasn't it?
Definitely a labour of love, and this here's my other love.
Jennifer.
Very supportive.
Port Chalmers is a nice little town, isn't it? This is what it was like in the late 1800s. And that's what it's like now. The Port Chalmers Hotel over there is the oldest functioning hotel in the South Island. This area is where the first ships arrived, and where I'm standing right now would have been on the foreshore of the beach. So these buildings are dated in the 1880s. And even today there's lots of historic buildings going back to the 1800s, late 1800s. Here's the Presbyterian Church in Port Chalmers. And there's a fantastic museum that tells the history of Port Chalmers as well. Great ship models and all the history of the local area. Fantastic museum thus. The Otago harbour here needs constant dredging to allow the big ships like ours to get in. One of the old dredges. Over there's Tauranga Heads, where the albatrosses are, and this is Aramoana Beach. Lovely spots around the harbour. And this is a memorial for Scott and Wilson and Oates and Bowers and Evans, who left here in 1910 when they went down to Antarctica. And they have the Orokonui Eco Sanctuary, which is pretty amazing, with all sorts of wildlife available for you to see and to care for as well. Orokonui means the great place of peace, and if you come here at night you might be lucky and see a kiwi. It's all fenced in to keep predators out. Dunedin's a city of about 130,000 people, and it's very much dominated by the University of Otago, which has 20,000 students. And all through the northern part of the city there is the famous student accommodation. And this is Baldwin Street, which is the steepest street in the world. And every now and then the students get up the top there with a whole lot of jaffas, lollies, and they come throw thousands of them down here and all the kids pick them up. What fun. And here we have the Dunedin railway station, built in 1910. Dunedin's noted for lovely buildings like this. There's Ulverston, a beautiful old house, Larnac Castle, and everywhere you look there are these lovely buildings. And the central meeting place in Dunedin is the Octagon, and today the Octagon's full of lots of people because there's an event on. And here we have the Octagon, sort of the hub of Dunedin, especially on a weekend when the cruise ship's in. They love to have the tourists here. Most tourists who come here spend their time in Dunedin, but today we've spent our time in Port Chalmers, and what a wonderful place it has been to visit. Quite different to the city of Dunedin, and it has its own unique charm. We've had a lovely day in Port Chalmers with our hosts, Les and Jennifer Box. Thanks very much for having us.
It's been a great pleasure.
It's been great catching up.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Best tour guides ever.
And so we head off down the Otago Harbour after a really, really lovely day here in Dunedin. Now we're going past Tauranga Heads, and this is very well known for its Royal Albatross colony. It's a breeding colony there. And when the albatrosses raise their chicks, the chicks take off and head out to sea, travelling all around the Pacific, all around the world. You can see the birds there soaring off from the hatchery. Albatrosses, they soar, they don't flap their wings. We've got the biggest seabirds with a 3-metre wingspan, and they travel around the Pacific for some years before they come back here to breed. Today we've got a lovely treat for you. We're going to be visiting Fiordland National Park. Today we're going to be going into Dusky Sound and then through Doubtful Sound and then up to the beautiful Milford Sound. This is going to be one of the highlights of the trip. So first is Dusky Sound, discovered by Captain Cook in the 1770s. The Maori call Dusky Sound Napier, which means shadowlands. You can see the shadows of the different hills up there. The early settlers came here initially seeking the fur seals. The big island over here is called Resolution Island, which is named after one of Captain Cook's ships, the Resolution. The weather in the Sounds can be pretty harsh, which limits what people can do here. The main industry, of course, is tourism, but there is some fishing, and especially the crayfish. You can see a crayfisherman out over there.
Pretty rugged industry, good return on your money. It's all quoted, so you can only catch your allocated quota, so the resource is protected. And these crayfish are massive, as you can see.
Normally it would be raining and misty, but today we've got the sunshine, which is just wonderful to be able to see Fiordland in the sun.
We're now leaving Dusky Sound, out through Breaksea Sound, out to the Tasman Sea, and then we're heading north to Doubtful Sound. It's strange that they're called sounds when they're actually fjords. A fjord is formed by glaciation, and you can see lots of evidence of glaciation there with the rounded sides to the big hills. Doubtful Sound is like Dusky Sound, where you can sail in one end of the sound and come out of another place. It goes around this big area of land here, rather than having to go in and then out the same place as we will be doing later in Milford Sound. Pretty majestic scenery up there, isn't it? Look at that. And some pretty majestic waterfalls up there. It's been a little bit of rain in the last few days, which helps make the waterfalls look more spectacular. This arm of Doubtful Sound goes up to Manapuri, where there's the incredible underground power station. The hills are covered in a beech forest, and every now and then the roots of some of the plants give way and there's a landslide, and then after that there'll be regeneration over a long period of time, so the forest comes back. It's always changing. Now we're heading into beautiful Milford Sound. We're so lucky to be able to see this on a day like today. It's most unusual to get weather like this. Pretty incredible waterfalls, look at that. Fairly big rock slide took place over there some time ago, and you can see it's regenerating. This is Copper Point, Sort of a redness in the rocks there, showing it's got copper in it. The camera just can't show the bigness and the grandeur. See how the water's quite brown in colour? That's because with the high rainfall it washes the tannins out of the trees down into the sound, giving it the brown colour. We sure have got Milford Sound on a pretty incredible day. And here we have Mitre Peak, the crown jewel of the Milford Sound. And it's named Mitre Peak because it sort of looks like a bishop's mitre hat. They reckon it's one of the steepest mountain climbs anywhere in the world.
How wonderful to be standing at the base of Mitre Peak in Milford Sound. What a beautiful country we live in. So blessed to be here.
Pretty spectacular waterfall, isn't it? The captain brought our boat right in close so we could see it. We've done so well today in Milford Sound. A little bit of snow there, lovely waterfalls, sunshine, calm day, blue skies. Doesn't happen like that very often. We're so blessed. And so we say farewell to Fiordland National Park and its beautiful fjords. The Dusky Sound, Doubtful Sound and Milford Sound. Pretty special place to visit, isn't it? This is the captain.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Marek. I'm captain on board Radiance of the Seas. I'd like to invite you to cruise with us because Radiance has the best team ever. So come and see us and enjoy the ride.
There are more than 50 different countries represented in the staff.
Thank you very much, DJ Darling.
I'm Cuddy, I'm your cruise director on board the Radiance of the Seas, hoping you've had a fantastic time while you're down here. It's all about you guys having the best time possible when you sail with us on the Royal Caribbean.
Hi, my name is Riza, your cruise sales associate on board the Radiance of the Seas. Come check us out as we explore New Zealand, Australia, as well as Hawaii and Alaska. Looking forward to see you. Bye-bye.
We're now in Australian waters and there is Tasmania. Next stop, Melbourne.
Well, 10 days around New Zealand, and as we said, it's the most beautiful country in the world, so it would be unfair to say what was the most beautiful. However, it was wonderful to go to Napier in the Art Deco time and to go in the Sounds, but everything was beautiful. But on board, I must say, the music has been amazing on this cruise, and the orchestra that they call the Radiance of the Seas Orchestra was incredible, and some of their artists were superb. This incredible pianist and wonderful singers. It's just been incredible.
Well, our 10-day cruise on the Radiance of the Seas around New Zealand has finally come to an end. And I must say it's been a fantastic cruise, right up there with the best of all the cruises that we've done throughout the world. I suppose because we've travelled around New Zealand and New Zealand has really shown off, that's what has been the highlight for me. Seeing New Zealand displayed in all of its glory and beauty, it's just, I felt so proud to be a New Zealander and to visit these places. The ship itself, the Radiance of the Seas, has been lovely. The food, the comfort, everything about it is great, and especially the music. The music has been truly tremendous on this ship. So thank you, Royal Caribbean. Thank you, Radiance of the Seas, and especially thank you, New Zealand. Thank you for a wonderful, wonderful cruise.
Well, we made it to the wonderful city of Melbourne. 2 of our children and 5 of our grandchildren live here. Coming here on a cruise is much better than flying over to see the family. We sure have had a wonderful time on the Radiance of the Seas. It's been fantastic.